Shabbat shalom, everybody. Let's just take a moment to greet the people around us, wish them a good Shabbat as we welcome each other and we welcome Shabbat. So take a moment, just turn around, greet the people around you. I'll invite everybody to find a seat now and settle into the peace of Shabbat. We welcome not only you here tonight, we welcome our guest cantor, Adele Nicholson, who will be leading us in prayer and in music. Shabbat Shalom. So she's going to lead us in a lovely nigun called Spring Forward. La 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 la. We'll turn now in our Sidurim to page 2. As we kindle the lights of Shabbat, I call up our newly installed president, Jeff Graff, and his lovely wife, Leslie, to lead us in the prayers. Page 2.
Candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen. And we turn to page 4 for the introduction to the Kiddush.
Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Boker, Yom HaShishi. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from doing all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all work of creation that God had done.
And we lift our Kiddush cup and chant the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon inhilanu, zikaron, lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And now we will continue our service with the reading on page 8. And I invite you all to join me in this reading. Thank you both. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. And we turn now to page 12 in song, Lechuna Ranana.
Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Nariya, Litzur, Yisheinu. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Nariya, Litzur, Yisheinu. Nekad Mafana, Betoda, Bizmiro, Nariya, Lo. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Nariya, Litzur, Yisheinu. Nekad Mafana, Betoda, Bizmiro, Nariya, Lo. Nekad Mafana, Betoda, Bizmiro, Nariya, Lo. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim, asher beyado mechkerei haaretz v'tofot harim. Asher beyado mechkerei haaretz v'tofot harim.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la la. And And we turn in song now to Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, page 13. Sing unto God a new song. As we prepare ourselves for the call to worship the Baruch Hu, we turn to page 27 for this reading at the bottom of the page that we read together. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. We rise now for the call to worship on page 28.
Ya la 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 la,
Ya la 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 la,
ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la.
ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. We pray this prayer of creation together on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, uvidvuna meshaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem, barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, Uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. And together on page 32, Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night will we reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And with God's love for us and our love for God, we proclaim these words of Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha veribarta bam beshivtecha bevetecha uvlektecha vaderech uvshokbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha Vehayu letotafot beinenecha uktavtam hamizuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzei etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiyot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem emet. We turn now to page 40, a prayer celebrating our freedom, Michamocha.
Ba'elim Adonai migamocha Ye'ara kodesh norat te'ilos osei ve'eleh Migamocha Ba'elim Adonai migamocha
read together on the top of page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue on the following page with Yismechu, page 44. We turn now to Hatefillah, to the Amidah, which begins on page 46. We'll continue through the Amidah, and we will conclude with silent meditation. After Ritzeh, actually. So get excited. We have Ritzeh that's in there this week. Please rise.
Adonai, Sefatai, Tiftach. Adonai, Sefatai, Tiftach. Ufi Yagi, Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagi. Eloheinu, Imotenu, Elohe Abraham, Elohe Yitzchak, Elohe Yaakov, Elohe Sarah, Elohe Rivka, Elohe Rachel, Elohe Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasarim Tovim, Nekonei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Imahot, V'mei Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh kol atah Yehoshia, Marik atah, Mechapel chayim v'chesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Mi chamocha b'gevurot, U'midom elach, Melech memit u'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah la'achayot ha'kol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha'kol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yahaladucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. On the top of page 55, we'll read in English together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue with the singing of Ritzei on page 56. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amecha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amecha Yisrael. U'tefilatam, U'tefilatam,
we take a few moments to close our prayer books and open our minds and our hearts as we pray silently. Our thoughts now turn to those who are in need of healing, those in our families, those in our lives and in this congregation, and those who we've been asked to say a prayer for Misha Berach on behalf of. In a moment, we'll turn to page 253, and I'll ask for the names of those who you are thinking of. This week in our congregation, we think of Gail Ossip, George Lublin, Donald Krasner, Jason Elbert, Lenny Hecht, Bill Meadow, Shifra Fega Bat Rachel, David Siegel, Judith Ryder Cornelissen, Alyssa Benray, Narissa Balland, Muriel Dubrow, Marta Leva, Esther Bat Schendel, Marilyn Sheffman, Bernard Finn, Randy Aronson, Shirley Aronson, Sylvia Levitsky, Alex Farber, Roberta Ty, Vicki Engelman, Sherry Werbin, Richie Harris, Leonard Brayman, Betty Myers, Doris Oleski, Elisheva Zohar Bat Panina, Amos Naman, Arlene Lessel, Stuart Lessel, Maria Bernard, Dr. Stephen Rosenberg, Blima Chaya Bat Razel Yittel, Hahazan Miriam Bat Dina Vayitzchak, Gabrielle Desaunier, Jared Stein, Yitzchak Meisner, Carol Bergman, Maggie Namad, Avraham Bat Chaya Gedalia, Chana Sarah Bat David. And if you're thinking of anyone, I ask that you please say their name as my hand passes where you are standing. Thank you. We continue to pray on behalf of the American and Israeli soldiers who are missing in action, being held captive, and who are in need of physical and emotional healing. As we have all of them in our hearts, we turn again to page 253 as we join together in the words of Misha Berach.
Once
Shabbat Shalom. On this special Shabbat Shlach Lecha, when the spies snuck into Israel, the land of our promise to our ancestors, they were looking for whether it was a good place to go or not, and 10 of them came back with a bad report, and 2 of them came back with this wonderful report that the land was flowing with milk and honey. And in a sense, the woman that I'm going to invite up here in just a moment, Veronica Pasmentier, come on up, Veronica. She is one of those good spies in that come stand over here, in that she is bringing back a report, if you will. Except she didn't just travel to the land of Israel. She's been traveling for a long time in her life and in the life of her family. We're going to go this way. My microphone never seems to work for some reason. Here we go. It's my fault, I'm sure. She has been traveling through her family to this point of declaring herself a Jew. Now, I have to tell you that she's been a Jew for a long time, probably before she was born. Her family comes from Russia, Poland, Germany, through France, and here to this point. And when we talk about someone who's converting, we usually think that they're coming from another religion. But I would really say Veronica is coming home much more than she is converting. And Maimonides tells us that for someone who decides to take the name Jew, which is really what Veronica is doing at this moment, is formally taking the name Jew, it is that we're supposed to imagine that whoever takes that name was standing there at Mount Sinai. We're all standing there at Mount Sinai all the time. Maimonides, in addition, writes that regarding the one who comes home or converts, our obligation is a great heart and a bond of love.
Yeah, and after all, I'm perfectly fine.
Veronica, she has studied, she's questioned, she's gone to the mikvah, she sat before the Bet Din, and she's here now to accept the mitzvot as part of, excuse me, just having a little bit of an allergic reaction to something here, excuse me. Thank you very much. Don't know what it is, but I'll take it. It's like being in college. Excuse me. She's accepting the mitzvot as part of her life and also taking on a Hebrew name. And so, Baruchim Habaim B'Shem Adonai, blessed are you who come here in God's name. We bless you in God's name. At this sacred and joyous moment, we renew the covenant at Sinai between God and the people Israel. O God, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the truth you have revealed to all humanity. Above all, we thank you for the gift of Torah, which has ever been a light for our path. O God, grant your loving favor to Veronica, as in this holy place we welcome her formally into Jewish life. Grant her many years of strength and happiness as a worthy member of our congregation. We praise you, O God, in whose presence is the fullness of joy. And we say together, Amen. And now I'm going to ask you these 6 questions as a way of committing yourself to our community in front of these witnesses. Veronica, do you choose to enter the eternal covenant between God and the people Israel and to become a Jew of your own free will?
Yes.
She said yes before I even met her, just so you know. Do you accept Judaism to the exclusion of all other religious faiths and practices?
Yes.
Do you pledge your loyalty to Judaism and to the Jewish people under all circumstances?
Yes.
Do you promise to establish a Jewish home and to participate actively in the life of the synagogue and of the Jewish community?
Yes.
Do you commit yourself to the pursuit of Torah and Jewish knowledge?
Yes.
If you should be blessed with children, do you promise to raise them as Jews?
Yes.
Beautiful. So I'm going to ask you to say these words that Ruth said. Ruth is considered to be among the first that joined our people, and I'll ask you to read these words.
Ruth said, "Entreat me not to leave you or to return from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried.
Beautiful. Now I'll ask you to recite the words of Shema.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Now I'm going to ask you all rise as we're going to place the Torah in Veronica's arms and give her her Hebrew name. I'm going to ask the rest of the clergy to come on up. You are known by the name Veronica, which means that you are always linked in love to those who gave you this name. And from this time forth, you shall also be known in the Jewish community as Rachel. It's a beautiful name. Your grandmother's name, Rochelle. It's something that's very important to you. Rachel, of course, is one of our matriarchs. But I want to tell you that in Hebrew, every letter has a numerical value. And the value of Rachel is 238. And there are two phrases that come from that same number. The first one is Vayivarech, and God blessed. And the second one comes from the story of creation. Right at the very beginning, it says, Vayi or, and there was light. Rachel, you are someone who feels blessed in your life already and will continue to receive blessing. And you are someone that brings light. Wherever you go, in whatever way you do it, you find a way to somehow peek beyond whatever veil of darkness exists, and you find a way to bring light. And so you have been, you are, and you will be filled with blessing and one who brings forth light. May this name bring respect to you and honor to the Jewish people. We want to welcome you into our midst. We welcome you now into our midst, you who are so willing and devoted to help replenish the ranks of our people, which you feel the loss of so dearly. Mishaberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yavarech et Rachel. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, Leah, bless Rachel, who has cast her lot with our people Israel. May she prosper in all her worthy endeavors, and may the work of her hands be blessed. And let us say together, Amen. Now I'm going to offer a blessing to you as on behalf of the Jewish people and on behalf of the congregation. I'm going to ask, here we go, come on up here. Yevarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav alecha v'chunecha. May God be gracious to you and always create a sense of comfort and healing and love within your soul. Yisa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God always lift you up and may you be filled with a sense of shalom, the shalom which is blessing and wholeness and a sense of a full and meaningful life. And together we say, Amen. Simen tov and mazel and simen tov and mazel. Simen tov and mazel tov and simen tov. Yehela.
Now we'll remain standing, and I'm going to call up my friend Ben Barker and Herb Block and my husband Adam Snitzer. We are all about to leave for Israel. If there's any other people in our congregation who are on their way to Israel, please join us up here for a blessing. Yes, yes. So I'll offer this blessing on behalf of all of us. The last time Ben was in Israel, I was with him. So I know this will be as good an experience as that. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless us and all those who I am with, who are about to fulfill the mitzvah of visiting the land of Israel. May we journey there safely and reach our destination in the land of Israel in peace. May we return safely. May God's blessing be with us as we journey through the land of our ancestors, where our brothers and sisters today strive to rebuild and revitalize the Holy Land. May the Holy One of Blessing deliver us from all troubles and distress. May we find blessing and success in all we undertake, together with all Israel finding inspiration and renewal in our people and our land. And let us all say, Amen. Mazel tov to all of us. Go in peace and come home in peace. No, stay up here. Stay up here. We're going to turn to page 282 and remain standing for the Aleinu.
Please be seated. Tonight, please be seated. Tonight is our honor to dedicate a plaque. It's our tradition to remember. We memorialize in many ways. We tell stories. We do tzedakah. We change our lives. And we sometimes create memorials, all to remember the names and lives of our loved ones. Tonight, we dedicate a plaque in loving memory of Tamara H. Sheffman. Tamara, dynamic pilot out there, out in the world, just loving life, and so tragically died so soon, so fast. And it's amazing. I know just a few weeks ago, it was her yahrzeit, and Ron was in Israel at the wall and had a chance to say Kaddish at the wall on Tamara's yahrzeit, a beautiful, beautiful moment of memory. The poet Hannah Senish, who was not necessarily a pilot, but she liked to jump out of airplanes. She wrote the beautiful poem found on the bottom of page 291, where she tells us that the memories of our loved ones indeed do endure, and compares them to those stars that burn up, that are lit up in the heavens, and that we see them even though they're so far away. And so let's read this poem together on the bottom of page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, the lights that guide us, As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. So remember now the moments shared, the times of companionship and closeness, and we dedicate this plaque in loving memory of Tamara H. Sheffman. And in so doing, we dedicate our lives to living in reflection of and honor of her highest ideals. I'm going to ask you now to recite the refrain to a poem that's a text that's not in your book, but you'll get it very, very quickly as we not only think about Tamara, but we think about all those people in our lives who are near and dear to us as we remember them. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, in the opening of buds and the rebirth of spring, in the blueness of sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn, in the beginning of the year and when it ends, when we are weary and in need of strength, when we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember Tamara and we remember all of them. We add Tamara's plaque and her memory to the many others that have already been inscribed and are in our alcove of remembrance. Remember those friends and families whose yahrzeits are being observed at this time and who have plaques in their memory. Remember Leona Albert, David Ballow, Dora Brower, Stanley Broth, Elliot Cohen, Lillian Dublin, Irving Duboff, Gail Feinstein, Max Finzelber, Sally Fisher, Zelda Friedman, Bertha Gratz, Harry Holland, Yetta Karasik, Rebecca Krensky, Rachel Kuttner, Zachary Lee, Rose Lewis, Frank Lipschutz, Alvin Lowe, Morris Miller, Nicholas Morley, John Mossman, Jesse Ori, Belle Radin, Max Reuter, Albert Rosenstein, Sarah Rosenthal, Sidney Schechter, Tessie Schultz, Helen Sepler, Scott Sheldon, Jack Shear, George Schusterman, Rose Siegel, Beulah Simberg, David Spiegel, Robert Stern, Anna Suskund, Sarah Taub, Iris Unger, David Weinglass, Lester Weinstein, Eugene Weiss, Jeffrey Yasmin, Esther Zeltzer. And we remember as well friends and family whose yahrzeits are being observed at this time. We remember Nisim Alhadis, Flavio Barbosa, Jorge Basuk, Moises Bemoris, Lillian Beinhorn, Natalie Blumenfeld, Myron Brody, Yetta Bussell, Dorothy Cohen, June Davis, Benjamin Elkin, Victor Frank, Harry Glaberson, Milton Goldberg, Tony Herskovitz, Leslie Hyde, Louis Kaufman, Faye Malatesta, Raul Mattagliati, Esther Meisel, Buddy Myers, Harold Moran, Dorothy Neifeld, Sima Oken, Ruth Pascal, Ruth Rosen, Abraham Rubenstein, Morris Solomon, Lillian Savage, Harold Shrinsky, Ida Schulman, Evelyn Singer, Murray Smith, Linda Spiegel, Esther Spiegelman, Grace Stadium, Max Stein, Elliot Sustrin, Arthur Tannenbaum, John Ty, Murray Trilling, Celia Turkowitz, Leah Weitz, Paula Wiesenfeld, Bluma Zayas. And we remember those who died in recent days and their families remain in the Shloshim of mourning, in the 30-day period of mourning. We remember Rabbi Simeon Schreiber, Victor Fonseca, George Simon, David Sepsenwald, Maria Esther Sanchez, Shlomo Tzvi. And if there's a name that I haven't mentioned, you're saying Kaddish, you're in a period of mourning, you're saying you have a yahrzeit, I'll ask you to please rise, mention those names out loud, and please remain standing as we're going to join together for Kaddish in a moment. Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, may the memory of all the righteous in our lives be a blessing as we rise and with one voice recite words of Kaddish, page 208. and 94. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah, v'yalma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei chon v'yomei chon, ufchayei v'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv yimeru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarak le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shmei d'kudusha b'rechu. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran b'yalma v'yimru. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru, amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all of you who mourn, comfort all who are bereaved, and send healing to all who are saddened, as together we say, amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite up Marta Singerman, a member of our board, to share greetings on behalf of the congregation. Thanks, Marta.
Shabbat Shalom. And Veronica, I want to add my congratulations and welcome. One of the best parts of coming to services is to meet people who are converting and baby namings. So thank you. So we have some stuff going on this summer. On June 25 at 7, the Evolving Nesters are having an Israel paint party. I am informed that there will be drinking and painting involved at the same time, apparently. Sounds fun. July 21 at 7 is the community Tish B'Av service at Temple Judea, as we will remember together. There is no more meditation until September 29, so I know you guys were going to run right out tomorrow morning at 8:25 and come, but give us a couple months. And have a lovely summer. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Everything's so tall up here, and I am not. How many of you have seen the 2017 movie about the circus, The Greatest Showman? Okay, a lot. Okay. Rabbi's mom saw it. The film opens with Phineas Taylor, or P.T. Barnum, Hugh Jackman, playing to an enthusiastic crowd as he and his performers put on a dazzling show. Fast forward, literally, to Barnum's boss telling him that they're shutting the company down due to a bankruptcy. Lost and unsure of what to do, Barnum digs deep inside of himself and returns to the dreams of his youth. I want to bring people together to celebrate who they really are, their authentic selves. And through following his heart, Barnum decides to seek out and create his own cast of circus performers, including a dwarf, a bearded man, a hair-covered man referred to as Dog Boy, and an 8-foot-tall man. Although this motley crew is publicly viewed as freaks, Barnum sees past their matchless exteriors and dives headfirst into the unique and celebrated truth among them. Each one of these individuals were authentically and unapologetically themselves. And from this moment and these sentiments expressed, the song "This Is Me" is born. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies, this is me. So what really is this is me? What is authenticity? To be authentic, we must cultivate the courage to be imperfect and vulnerable. We have to believe that we are fundamentally worthy of love and acceptance, just as we are. Authenticity is about presence, living in the moment with conviction and confidence and staying true to ourselves. An authentic person puts the people around them at ease. So how do we do that? Here's 5 suggestions. Even if you don't like 4 of them, pick one. Open-mindedness and fairness to opportunities and people. Quote, open your eyes to the beauty around you. Open your mind to the wonders of life. Open your heart to those who love you, and always be true to yourself. Donna Davis shared these words of open-mindedness that is built on trust, faith, and acceptance of call to action in our own lives. Open-mindedness is the antithesis of anxiety, stress, and intolerance. It means that we are fair-minded and willing to entertain new thoughts, new ideas, and even new people, and all that each of them have to offer. Number 2, authenticity is very important. Be true to oneself. Laila Ali. To act in an authentic manner, we must first give thought to what it is we want to do. This requires keen emotional intelligence, which is particularly compromised of the ever-powerful trait of self-awareness. Be mindful of your thoughts. Be careful of how your actions influence others. Act with good intentions and motives, and you'll be admired for your authenticity. 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind, and the third is to be kind. Henry James. How do you feel when someone treats you like garbage? Don't worry, that question's rhetorical, but we all feel terrible when we're disrespected and even violated. Hopefully this emotion stirs up a desire within us to act with kindness and love and not reciprocate hurtful actions. Be kind to those around you. Watch how radically your life will begin to change. 4, what day is it? It's today, squeaked Piglet. My favorite day, said Pooh. That actually is a Winnie the Pooh quote. I know Rabbi Glickstein had one that was questionable. Living in the moment means concentrating on exactly what is happening in your life at that precise time. It demands that we remove the baggage and the clutter from our lives to live in the best of ourselves in that moment. Presence and concern for right now are achieved when we eliminate distractions. Being a great listener is not just suited for conversations with our loved ones or our business partners. It's also about listening to the very important voice inside our heads. Listen to your intuition. Do what your heart is telling you to do. That's what an authentic person does. And finally, be yourself, because everyone else is already taken. Oscar Wilde. The time-tested advice to be yourself stands for a reason. But what I want to add to this valuable knowledge is this. Be true to yourself means that you are honest, trustworthy person who lives by a code of morals and of values. Be true to yourself is fundamental to living a life of integrity. However powerful these 5 steps may seem, they're seemingly empty and ineffective without kavanah, personal intention, behind them. Our Talmud illustrates it beautifully when it says, everyone is responsible to be great as Moses. But then the Torah tells us in Deuteronomy 34:10 that no one will ever be as great as Moses. So how can one be expected to be as great as Moses if no one will ever be as great as Moses? The answer is, as Moses fulfilled his own personal potential, so too are we expected to fulfill our own. Each of us is born with a unique set of talents and tools. Some of us are rich, great for you. Others are poor. Some are tall and some are short. One person can sing, another can write, and the list goes on and on. But these qualities are not what determine our greatness. Rather, it's how we deal with particular circumstances, how we authentically choose to react and interact with our given realities. Imagine 2 people competing in a 100-meter dash. I am not either of those 2 people. One runs a world record time of 9.3 seconds. The other crosses the finish line in 30 seconds. Who would you say is the success? The record breaker, right? The record breaker, of course. But what if I told you the one who clocked in at 30 seconds had developed polio as a child, was unable to walk until he was 14 years old, and had invested years of painful and grueling exercise until he was finally able to even traverse that distance? We can never know the circumstances of another person and what they have to deal with. We cannot see whether he's naturally calm or whether he had to struggle to control his temper, whether he was born with great intelligence or whether he's had to overcome learning disabilities, whether he's been handed the best of everything or whether he's had to surmount many obstacles. That's why Judaism says it's not important where you are on the ladder, but how many rungs you have climbed. This is a crucial concept for us all. Consider, which is more important, achievement or effort on a child's report card? I think the answer is effort. The reason we need grades for achievement is simply to have an objective gauge of how much material the child is grasping. But in ultimate terms, in holy terms, all that really matters, I think, is the effort, the intention, the kavanah. Many of us have heard the story of Zusia, the great Hasidic master who lay crying on his deathbed. His students asked him, "Rebbe, why are you so sad? After all the mitzvahs, all the good deeds you've done, you will surely get a great reward in the world to come." "I'm afraid," said Zusia, "because when I get to heaven, I know God is not going to ask me, 'Why weren't you more like Moses?' or 'Why weren't you more like King David?' But I'm afraid that God will ask Zusia, 'Why weren't you more like Zusia?' And then what will I say?" What would any of us be able to say? Have we truly guided and demanded of ourselves true authenticity? Or are we persuaded, motivated, and influenced to act in ways that don't align with our beliefs, our values, and our integrity? A quote, "You were born to be real, not to be perfect. You're here to be you, not to be what someone else wants you to be. Stand up for yourself, look them in the eye, and say, 'Don't judge me until you know me. Don't underestimate me until you've challenged me, and don't talk about me until you've talked to me.'" So in answer to the question, the Talmudic statement, nobody will ever be as great as Moses, it actually means that nobody again will have that same potential. But we can maximize what we do have. Life is not competition against anyone but ourselves. Be proud, be real, be authentic. Each day that we are blessed to be alive for even one more breath, God invites us and encourages us, even demands that each one of us lives in the way that we were created, B'Tselem Elohim, in his image. God changes caterpillars into butterflies, sand into pearls, and coal into diamonds, using time and pressure. And I truly believe he is working on you and me too. This past week, I was blessed enough to celebrate my 40th birthday with my friends and my family, and it has truly made me think about my own struggles, my own truths, and my own authenticity. As each year passes, let us recognize our own transformations that take place slowly. Each day we wake up, let us thank God for that next day and pray that we can authentically fulfill our role that he had in mind for us to achieve that day and the next. May we each enter Shabbat and this new week ahead with the goal to be exactly who we were created to be, authentic, real, and fashioned in God's image. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to conclude the service with the singing of Oseh Shalom, which you can find on page 343 in your prayer books. I'd like to thank Alan Caves again and Cantor Adele Nicholson, and I invite everyone to please rise.
Shalom bim Roma.